Let's fucking go.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Guy Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review Andor episodes 1, 2, and 3. Yes, Andor, the Star Wars sensation, has returned. Now, Andor is a unique Star Wars property. It is the most mature and well-written of all the Star Wars properties. Arguably anyways. Like, it is pretty much... Andor has all the Andor is a spin-off of Rogue One, which Rogue One itself is a prequel. So Andor is a prequel to a prequel. And when you hear that, it kind of hits your ear and you kind of go... Like, I remember when they first announced it, I remember seeing Rogue One. I enjoyed Rogue One. But when I left Rogue One, I was not thinking about Andor. Don't get me wrong, I was thinking about this movie that was showing kind of the grimier... side of the rebellion, because as I talked about in my first Andor and review of Andor season 1, like, it's rebellions. Every successful rebellion is built on the back of grunts, of people who are doing the dirty shit, of people who are doing shit they can't sleep at night. Papa Skarsgård, as I call him, plays a character in this in the Andor show named Luthen, and Luthen is probably one of the most intriguing characters in the entire show, because this is a man who has really dedicated his all, and he's first interacting with Saw Gerrera from Rebels and other projects and whatnot. But Luthen had one of the most awesome, amazing lines, and it kind of represents the entirety of the show, which is something along the lines of, I fight for a sunrise I'll never live to see. And that's what rebellions are made of. And also on a smaller / more less aggressive standpoint, Star Wars, the animated series Star Wars Rebels introduced the concept that there was a rebellion going on before Luke, Leia, and Han ever got involved. Before Luke, Leia, and Han ever got involved, there was already rebellions. There was already smaller rebellions, not connected, all across the galaxy, fighting against the Empire in their own way. There was all these people trying to figure out a way to do that. It's just Luke, Leia, and Han became the figure points, became the heroes of the rebellion. But guys like Cassian, guys like Luthen, people like Bix, Mothma. I always say Mothma. I think, is it Mothma or is it just Mothma? I just say Mothma. People like Mothma and whatnot, they were on the ground to all this rebellion shit. They were the first people to really try to push back against the Empire. And in the show, Cassian really embodied that. It took itself very seriously. I complained a couple times because it always felt like Cassian always had this 3-episode build-up. The entirety of Cassian Andor season 1, every single fucking episode, it was 9 episodes, but every episode was build up, great episode, build up, great episode. And it was working like that. Every episode, 1, 2, great. 1, 2, great. And at a certain point, it kind of got annoying because there are straight up episodes of Andor that nothing happens. It's just nothing happening. And that continues here in season 2, where it's there's some great acting going on. I'm loving the feeling, because Andor feels like a war movie. You know what I mean? The one thing they captured in Rogue One was making Star Wars feel like a war movie. And that was one of the things I walked away Rogue One feeling, is they finally put more emphasis on the war part of the Star Wars. Andor feels like that too. Andor feels like a period piece, which is crazy to say about a movie that's in space and shit, but Star Wars is so ingrained in the public conscience, I think, and it's so ingrained in everyone, and we kind of know what it looks like, we kind of know what that world is, that seeing a movie, or a show in this case, that takes place in the past, before the stuff we know, and seeing like, yo, this is the beginnings of that rebellion that would happen in the movies, and it's like, it's not as glamorous as you think. It's not as pretty. Shit is real. There's real dangers. Not everyone gets along, because that's a thing too. That's one of the other things they touch upon in this season is just because we're all rebels. And they touch upon this in other things like Rebels as well, like Star Wars Rebels as well. It's like, yo, just because we're all, fighting the Empire doesn't mean we all agree on how to do it. It doesn't even mean everyone is a good person. If that makes any sense. It doesn't even mean everyone's a good person. So, Andor Season 2, it's not really specified how long it takes place after the first season of Andor. I'm banking that it was like at least a few months after the first season of Andor, but who knows. But, Andor's, place got overrun by the Empire. His hometown got overrun by the Empire. His mom died. Binks was, like, screwed up in a machine. Friends died. Like, a whole bunch of shit happened at the end of last season. But the end of last season was really leading up to Andor making his stance like, I am ready. I am all about this cause. I am ready to die for it. As we know, he will eventually do. But the entire first season of Andor was about him making the decision to become, like, their top operative. Like, Andor is willing to do whatever it takes for the cause. And it starts off, and Andor stealing, what's he stealing? A TIE fighter. He's stealing a TIE fighter. It looks like it must have been like, it's like some type of new experimental TIE fighter, and he's stealing it for Luthen. But something goes wrong. But obviously, in process of doing that, things go wrong, and he ends up getting captured by this band of other rebels, but these rebels don't know about him. This is a band of rebels that don't know about him. This is like a more rougher guerrilla band of rebels who aren't connected. They're just fighting, but of course, they see him show up in a TIE fighter, he gets captured, and that becomes a whole thing. Meanwhile, Binks, Cassian's love, well, close friend love, whatever you want to say, she's just trying to, stay on the down low. Her and a couple other friends trying to stay on the down low on this farm where Imperials are getting closer and closer to discovering where they are, because they're supposed to meet Cassian. So you got that going on. You also have this Mothma wedding going on, which is sometimes interesting and sometimes not. There's like 4 storylines going on. You got the Mothma wedding going on. You got Cassian trying to stranded. And this is a 3-episode arc. You got Cassian stranded on this fucking planet, being kind of taken hostage by these group of rebels who are basically kids, if you want to be honest. So you got that going on. You got the Binks on this farm planet trying to hold out until Cassian can get there before these Imperials discover her. And you also have this weird side thing, which is entertaining in a weird way, of this romance between these two Imperial officers we met last season. Last season there was the God damn it, I always forget her name. There were these 2 officers that really kind of embodied the lower tier of the Empire. Muro. Oh, there it is, yeah. Dectra, and God, man, always Serler. Is it Cyril really? I can't say his name right. But both of them in the first season were these just kind of Dectra was kind of upper class, and Homeboy was a little lower class. But they were both a part of the bottom of the Empire, because usually when you hear the Empire, all you think about is Darth Vader, just Palpatine and stormtroopers, or not stormtroopers, stormtroopers and whatnot, and all these different things. You think about the top things, or the guys in the black suits, the top brass, but all governments have bottom tier people. And one of the cool things about Cassian, I keep saying Cassian, Andor Season 1 is you got to see that, and you got to really see that in these 2 characters. These 2 characters who are bought into the bullshit, who are bought into the, propaganda that the Empire has pumped out. One of them we discovered in this season so far, Dictra was raised in an Imperial like orphanage, so it makes sense why she's so cold and detached and whatnot. And they kind of hinted to them having a romance in the end of the last season, but in this season they full on have a romance. Like, they full on live together. Like, he's introducing her to his mom, and that the dinner scene with those two was very fun. It was very fun to see her just tell off his mom, because I gotta tell you, his mom's kind of a bitch and she needs to be told off. Like, good lord, that actress does a great job of just playing this overbearing mother. But I digress. So all that's going on, and it's still captured everything in the original show. And there's also a very controversial scene in it. It's something that hasn't really been touched upon in a Star Wars property. It's something that I'm not sure was even necessary. So usually in PG-13-ish, in PG-13 properties, if like assault or a man forcing himself on a woman is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's insinuated. It's insinuated by him giving her a dirty snare. It's insinuated by him touching his belt. It's insinuated by things, but it's never actually said. It's never shown. It's never, it's nothing like that. It's insinuated. You can get a lot done with what you don't show, but this show did not do that. Andor straight up said, they straight up said the R word in the movie. They said the R word in the show. He literally tried to force himself on Binks, and it was kind of wild. Like, I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, it does fit with the realism that the show is going for, but it's just something that, like, it's just something that the Star Wars has never touched before. Hell, Star Wars has never even really touched people having sex, dude. Like, that's never even been a thing. Now, Andor did last season, which also involved Binks, but whatever. But Andor did last season was like the first sex scene in a it wasn't even a scene, because it's like it was done. Like like they just showed him go in the room and come out. But still, it's the first time they ever even insinuated that in any Star Wars property. Not that we don't know, but it's just kind of interesting that they decided to do that with Andor. But anyways, I enjoyed Andor's episodes 1, 2, 3. I thought they were very well done. I think it's living up to the billing of what the old show did. Does it drag a little bit for me personally? Yes. Sometimes there isn't enough happening. Like, to the point where the reason I'm doing this review so late, it's because I watched like episode 1, watched part of episode 2, couldn't get through it, kind of went off and then started watching other things, and then came back to finish it. That's because, like, Andor is it's always, when it gets to the good, it's great, but sometimes the shit just drags. I'd probably give Andor episodes 1 till 3, I'd give it an 8.5. I enjoyed it, but damn, sometimes the show drags. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.